Hi, I'm Michi, and welcome to Daily Reflections. Do you know the idea of seeing something positive in everything? Or that there's like every person is superior to you in something? I love it. I love the idea. I'm totally committed to it. But also, sometimes it's super hard to see those things, and especially when it comes to see the positive side of things. Easy example. I mean, I get the idea because it's always we're trained to see mistakes, negative things. We learn that really from early on throughout school, and we're primed for seeing mistakes and what doesn't work. It's all over the news. We probably also like that because it's very exciting, but it introduces this whole negativity into your life. So I'm committed to seeing positive things. But situations where it's super hard to see that is, for example, if one person is hurting another. It's just, I mean, it's a very generic example, but it's also very hard for me to see something positive in that. And quite recently, I've made the extraordinary experience that I've seen something valuable, something positive in something that I perceived in a very negative way before. Topic at hand is social media, especially Instagram, and even more particularly YouTube. I like YouTube, obviously, but also, yeah, I've been sick a couple of days, and I was laying in bed, and at some point I got drawn into YouTube Shorts, and it's super addictive. It's it's not good for your psyche, but let's not go into detail there. For now, let's just stay with the fact that I've been browsing through it for hours actually until I just fell asleep. I recovered. Anyway, and in those YouTube shorts, one thing that I've realized, or yeah, realized is there are all those stories, all those interactions, all those amateurishly filmed situations, and they kind of pretend to be real life interactions, and things like that might happen. But I realized that most of that shit, and probably you're like, wow, really? You realize that now? But most of that stuff is staged. And I'm not sure if we're actually realizing that. So at some point, once I realized that all of that stuff is made up and it's just there to entertain us, entertain me, I was kind of shocked at first because it pretends to be something that it actually isn't. And I was kind of mad because I spent all those hours in this belief that, oh my god, that's what's happening out there. It's super funny. It's super scary. It's not true. But then, and that was the negative lens, like the bad things that I'm seeing in it and that I've seen in it before. But then I realized, because yeah, because of another topic, that actually what it does with that staging, with that scripting it, playing it out, it's actually very similar to every other medium that it's out there, like television, like films. If you go to the movies, that shit is staged, trying to pretend that it's real and giving you the feeling that it's real. And those shorts do the very same thing. And while I was shocked first, I then realized that this is actually a very gracious and very good example of acting qualities. Like, those people are actors. They also probably earn money with it, but they're basically actors and they're doing it in a really good way because they all trick us into believing that those scenes are happen or have happened exactly that way in real life, but most of the time they don't. And I was fascinated with that because that's a good thing. That's a It's not super transparent and honest, but if I if I view it from this actor's perspective, that stuff is really good. And that's something that really blew me away, blew my mind. Because now I, at that moment, but also now I can see it from a totally different perspective, from a positive one. Doesn't mean that I consume it now every day. I don't, but in general, I can value it much more. And I hope that those people will be a bit more transparent about what they actually do. But others than that, totally fine. And now, yeah, I have this new positive perspective on it, which actually feels great, and it lets me be much more positive. Have you realized that? Crazy, right? Okay, was my pleasure. Looking forward to hearing what you think about it, and take care.